Welcome, Sagittarius, to your weekly love reading for July 30th to August the 5th of 2018. So, I feel this week that a lot of you, you could have gone through a big change, and it may have been moving on from someone because you needed to focus on maybe something new, like a job, a priority. Maybe some of you had a child as well. It could have been a birth of a baby. For some of you, you're going through that and you're trying to make sure that you are well taken care of, dealing with the baby's father, or different issues of insurance, or just health concerns. Anything like that could have been going on. But I feel disconnecting from somebody so that you can focus more on you, on your health, fitness, whatever it may have been. And maybe it's like even moving from a different location for some of you into a newer territory for some. And I feel like these things need to happen because you may have been dealing with someone, or just two people's energy or more, from different things that you may have battled with that person over and over again, and it's constantly on your mind. And I feel you have a few different people that are showing up, and that's why I mentioned it just depends. It could be any sign that you're dealing with, but I feel getting rid of older residue. Now, I don't say residue like that person, dirty, but I mean like heavyweight dead energy that you need to lift up and move on from, especially if you've been holding on to something because you may not have been feeling at your best when it comes to maybe your self-esteem. Usually when you're feeling at your best, you don't cling on to maybe unhealthy people or patterns and things like that. When you're feeling really good, you're confident enough to say and tell yourself, I deserve better. I deserve to even treat people better than I have been. And usually sometimes your response to them is because we're not feeling all that great. Sometimes it can be that way. Even financially, we might even do certain things, or stay in situations that are not really good because of financial security. That might be something. So if you stay with something or someone like that, if they're leaning on you, you're leaning on them, the universe is going to make you aware of it eventually, that something is not healthy, and someone is sad because someone else is happier because they're not doing nothing, or these things that might need to change. So yes, you may have been very happy to be with somebody that brought you that emotional satisfaction at times, but you might not have been ready for that particular person, even if it was too much, or you two just didn't get along. I feel like a lot of you are indecisive about going back to somebody because you feel like there were some good things, but all in all, we went through too many ups and downs, and it constantly happens over and over again. So I feel like part of it is working on yourself right now, maybe putting something on the back burner until that person can treat you right, or you can treat yourself right. They can treat themselves right, and get that self-respect, and then financially being able to be confident this week, and releasing someone who constantly maybe brings down the hammer on you because of maybe some mistakes that you've made, what they've done, the blame game going back and forth, which is unhealthy. These patterns need to be let go of, and I feel like the tension is lifting, but it's still there. So working on your confidence, working on your self-esteem, these kind of things is front and center. I feel like that's part of it. So taking some time for you. A lot of you might even be having some issues with committing to somebody because you just don't want to just yet. You might even want to keep your options open, or the fact that it's like somebody might want to stay married or keep the marriage going, you might not want to, or the fact that somebody wants to move you in, and you might not be ready for that just yet, or the fact that you don't want to be seen with them because of their own financial insecurities, or whatever it might be. Part of that could be all of the issues. So I feel like separating, kind of doing your own thing, and then being able to come back together and see how things go with you and someone else. So I feel like some older energy is behind you, some newer energy is still causing you some trouble. So it's just a process of being honest with certain things that need to change, and really being honest with your love potential or romantic partner, and working on these things so that you can be much healthier and much wiser by having gone through these particular experiences. So whoever is constantly at you with negative things, you have to cut that out. I mean, when I say cut that out, I'm like, child, cut that out. No, I mean, like, cut that energy out and focus on you, so that you can have that space. If they're not giving it to you, let them know that you really need it. If they still don't try to give it to you, let you know you have to put up a boundary and say, I can't even do this at all. Turn your back, do whatever you have to do to rid yourself of the constant back and forth. So that's going to be your reading for the week. All right, tons of love, lots of light to you, tons of healing vibes. I wish you the very best, and this is a process of, the energy that your partner, they may be bringing to you, being very overly emotional about certain things, just bringing up a lot of resentment, and I feel like you need to try to forgive them, forgive yourself if you've been part of the cause, or whatever it might be. I feel like you know what this process may be for many of you. So that's going to be your reading. If you would like a private or personal one, as these are general, you can always go to the website psychicloveheals.com to schedule something for you. All right, have a good one.